So I just wanted to share some thoughts on what I think about when I see what's happening in Gaza and what it's like to be a part of a community that for the last 100 years essentially has just been re-traumatized every generation. And something I've been thinking a lot about lately are the future effects of these children who are breathing in these dangerous chemicals like white phosphorus, and they're being pulled out of the rubble of their homes and they're covered in this toxic dust. And I wonder what that does to their bodies. I wonder what that does to their cells. I wonder what that does to the future of their development. We're so obsessed with childhood development in the West, and we're so obsessed with not giving our kids anything but organic food and stay away from all these dyes and all these processed foods. But our children in Palestine are literally being pumped full of toxic chemicals every second of every day. And so I wonder that, inshallah, they survive what's happening right now in Gaza to grow up and have children of their own. Will they be able to have children? Will they grow up normally? Will they be sick for their whole life? Will they develop some sort of rare cancer that is going to be newly discovered 20 years from now, tied back to the shit that we've been dropping on them every single day? Are they going to be able to have kids? If they do have kids, will their kids be healthy? The sheer thought of trying to figure out how many generations this is going to last us, how many generations of Palestinians this is going to affect, the aftermath of this is going to affect, is just exhausting. Decades later, we're still hearing about medical complications that people are experiencing after Hiroshima and Nagasaki and Vietnam, and even things like Chernobyl, what we did in Iraq. There are medical atrocities that are happening every single day. New cancers, new illnesses, genetic mutations. And then I remember that Gaza is a testing ground. And so it's going to be a whole new couple of decades of learning the medical aftermath of what's happening now in Gaza. And aside from the chemicals and wondering how that's going to affect our future generations, I think of the mental trauma. I think of the trauma that is being encoded in our DNA. I think of the kids who are a little bit older than mine who understand what's going on and how they feel. I think of all of us who might not be experiencing what's happening in Palestine right now physically, but we are witnessing it, and those are our people. And remember the cellular connection that I told you we all have? We feel it. We're all being traumatized, and the realization that nowhere is safe to be Palestinian is something that is like a dark cloud that just kind of looms over you every single day. And so I wonder what that does to future generations. My kids are little, so they don't necessarily know everything that's going on, but for the kids that are ages 6 to 18, what's this going to do to them? How are they going to grow up with this trauma? I was part of a generation that I feel like we have been blessed to focus on our mental health and to heal the generational trauma. That was a really big thing for millennials. And I feel like in a second, it just piled back on top of us, and now it is taking new form inside our bodies. And I think about whether or not we wanted to have more kids. Whatever that answer is, I was very grateful to not be growing a child during all of this, because I can only imagine the trauma that is passed down in utero watching all of this. And so that's another thing. So I think about the next generation of diaspora Palestinian babies who will be born with a new strain of generational trauma that they didn't ask for, that they know nothing about, which was my parents' generation and trickled into our generation. And so this is what I think about. I think about the decades upon decades of medical aid that my people will need. I think about the decades of trauma, mental health services that we're going to need both on the ground in Palestine and throughout the diaspora. And I wonder if I'm the only one who thinks about that, if Palestinians are the only ones who think about that, or if this world is really prepared to deal with the aftermath of what we have all participated in with our tax dollars and our comfort. I don't know why I wanted to share that, but I felt it was necessary today.